Welcome into college football now as our college football coverage continues here on Chat Sports. Some tracker updates, who's in, who's out, who's committed, some recruiting news, a brief look at the top college football transfer portal classes so far. And if you've enjoyed our college football coverage, which a lot of National Signing Day stuff, recruiting as well, show us you do by liking today's video right now. Help show the bosses you like the college football coverage and you want even more of it. Hit that like button for us right now. Let's dive into the tracker, all the latest commitments. A big one that broke within the last 24-ish hours, pretty much all of these. Dominic Lovett, the former Missouri wide receiver, staying in the SEC, going to Georgia, along with Mississippi State wide receiver Rara Thomas. Two big gets for the Bulldogs in Lovett and in Thomas. These two could very well be the top receivers for the Bulldogs next year, and what I would guess is Brock Vandagriff at quarterback, although who knows, maybe Stetson Bennett somehow has another year of eligibility. Lovett had 846 yards last year. He was one of the best available wide receivers. Thomas, red zone talent, 7 touchdowns on only 44 catches. Faster on some of these other lesser names, to be honest. Austin Booker is transferring from Minnesota to Kansas. A 3-star, has not played that much, but a big get for LSU. Denver Harris, the 5-star cornerback who committed to Texas A&M last year, is jumping ship, going to LSU, where in theory he will get a bigger playing time and more production, etc. there. The Denver Harris get is a significant one for LSU. 5-star recruit out of Houston last year for that incredibly loaded A&M recruiting class, one of the best we've seen. Only 3 pass breakups, 14 tackles, hoping to get more playing time in a different spot, clearly, with the Tigers. Rusty Staats, elite name here. Western Kentucky offensive lineman making the jump over to Texas Tech, so a fairly big get there as offensive line portal additions, some of the bigger ones that you should certainly keep an eye out for because there's a dearth of reliable offensive line talent out there. Curious how that ends up playing out for Texas Tech. Let's go to Tony Grimes now as the North Carolina cornerback hit the portal. He's going to Texas A&M. So you've got A&M losing Denver Harris and then getting Tony Grimes, which I do find quite interesting there. That's a fairly big addition for Texas A&M to land Grimes. Next up is Marcus Dumervil, the LSU offensive tackle. That is the nephew, by the way, of former NFL great Elvis Dumervil. He's going to Maryland. Dominic Richardson, Oklahoma State running back, sticking in the Big 12, going to Baylor. 8 touchdowns this past year, will probably be a decent piece for the Bears. Noah Potter, no relation to Harry. He's gone from Ohio State to Cincinnati, now to NC State. Had 4 TFLs and 2.5 sacks, but that was it this past year. All right, what do you guys think of the college football transfer portal? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it good or bad? Give me your opinions at the pinned comment of today's video. If the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, type in G for good or B for bad. Grant Stark, the Nevada offensive tackle, is next up here. He's going from Nevada to Oregon State. So a pretty noteworthy get there for a rather impressive Beaver squad. And we mentioned Tony Grimes here. He's, again, just to wrap it up, going from UNC to Texas A&M. The Tar Heels lost a lot of their top corners. Grimes enrolled early at UNC. It's a big loss for the Tar Heels. More defensive backs. Reggie Pearson, who was at one point at Wisconsin, went to Texas Tech for 2 years, now going to Oklahoma. Elite name alert. Rivaldo Fairweather, FIU tight end who had, checking my notes, 426 yards last year, will jump ship to Auburn and join with Hugh Freeze. And now we have entered the Deion Sanders, Colorado portion of today's show. Marshawn Nealon, the Western Michigan edge rusher with 10 TFLs, a good run stopper. He's going to Colorado, along with, shocker, Travis Hunter. Yeah, who would have thought that the Jackson State best player, who will play both receiver and cornerback, I suspect, like he did last year. He's going to Colorado. I'm not even going to mention Shadur Sanders. Like, duh, of course Deion's kid is going to be Colorado's quarterback. That just makes sense. And then safety Cameron Sillman, who was also part of that very good Jackson State defensive backs crew. He's going to Colorado, as Deion Sanders has already put together a top 10 transfer portal class. Certainly makes some sense. We'll talk about that later on in today's show. But will Coach Prime be a success at Colorado. It's different. He's going to recruit pretty well. Can he win games, though, in the end? We'll find out soon. Let me know what you guys think. Why for yes, Coach Prime will work, and for no, he will not. Now, who here has had a tough time trying to cancel a subscription, or maybe you forgot to cancel one before your free trial ended? I've done that before, and it's brutal because I feel like I'm just wasting money in it and always been to no end. But there's this great app that I've come across that helps me handle all of that. It's called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. The app shows all your subscriptions in one place and cancels for you whatever you don't still want. And they can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for when you just forgot about over the years. Or maybe you were double charged at one point for a subscription. To cancel a subscription through Rocket Money, all you have to do is press cancel, and they take care of the rest. No more trying to log in and got to hit remember password, and then you don't know what your password is, and then you plug in the new one, and oh, it's the same one as one you used previously, even though it's not the current one, which is so stupid. Just let me take my password in. Get rid of useless subscriptions and make it easy to cancel the ones you don't want with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/NFL Daily. That's rocketmoney.com/NFL Daily. Download the app. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. More portal talk here. Some new players in the portal. Michael Tarquin, who is a kind of a part-time starter for Florida, kind of lost his job when he got hurt, but was still rotating in. Somewhat of a surprise. He should have some interest as a starting caliber Power 5 lineman. Ardarius Jones, another member of a massive Texas A&M transfer portal group. It's up to 25 players right now. He hasn't played much, former 3-star, but he's in the portal. Austin Ani, the soon-to-be 30-year-old quarterback for North Texas. He was a 2012 second-round pick by the Yankees. So he's basically Drew Henson is what I'm saying, although not as good. He's in the portal again. 33 touchdowns, 15 INTs this year. And Malik Feaster, who was Jacksonville State, to FSU, now in the portal again, looking for a new potential destination. Look, Ani's old, but he can be a backup for you, right? And that's certainly valuable in college football. One big name I wanted to mention here, Braden Fisk, who is the Western Michigan defensive lineman, appears to have figured out his final 3 schools here: USC, Notre Dame, FSU as well. So keep an eye on Fisk picking one of those 3 schools. It'd be a big get for whoever he ends up going to. Let's hit some recruiting updates here as well. 3 very notable moves among top 100 recruits in the past 24 hours. DeAndre Moore, who did not sign on National Signing Day, took an extra day. He has flipped from Louisville to Texas. That one was somewhat expected, but it's a big get for Steve Sarkisian and the Texas offense. Desmond Ricks, who was down to Alabama, LSU, and Florida, the number 23 overall recruit. He was always going to commit on Thursday. He's done so. He's going to Alabama. We'll come back to that third name, but this Alabama recruiting class is absolutely incredible. 28 commits. Remember, they've changed the rules to not limit you to 25, whatever. 7 different 5-stars. They were number 1 entering National Signing Day and then added multiple more 5-stars. It's an incredible haul for the Crimson Tide. 20 different 4-stars. The 3-star is a kicker. It is an incredible class, not that far behind the incredible one last year from Texas A&M. If you want more on this class, we broke it down for you guys here. Look like that. Now, that doesn't even include Desmond Ricks, which just shows how impressive this class is. Now, we're also planning on doing top 10 transfer portal recruiting classes as well. That video coming out soon. If you want to see it, be a part of it, make sure you guys are subscribed and click that notification bell. Finally, Peyton Bowen, who, look, there's one every single year, and they're just kids, so I'm not that mad about it. I understand why some people might be frustrated in the end. Peyton Bowen was committed to Notre Dame, flipped on National Signing Day to Oregon, did not sign, and then the day after flipped to Oklahoma. So snip, snap, snip, snap. You have no idea the physical toll that 3 flips has on a recruiting person. Peyton Bowen now at Oklahoma. It's a big get for the Sooners, but I think he's maybe made some enemies in the Notre Dame and Oregon fan bases. He's number 14 overall. Huge get for the Sooners and Brent Venables, who hopefully make him into a great pro. But there is some concern because, I mean, he had a Brew McCoy cycle in a span of 48 hours. Before we go, a little brief look at where the top transfer portal classes currently sit. Michigan, this is based on the On3 rankings, by the way, because they factor in who's left the program. Michigan State number 1, Michigan number 2, Arizona State is number 3, Washington, Colorado, UCLA, a lot of Pac-12 schools cleaning up house here. Florida State, UCF, TCU, which we'll see if things change as they leave the college football playoff. Same with Michigan, too, because, hey, you're in the CFP. Why would you want to transfer out, right? USC, number 10. I like the other rankings. They factor in the losses there, so the Aggies are nowhere near the top, but that's not done yet. There are still some big-time names out there in the transfer portal, and we'll keep you guys covered on how things change and update in the coming days and a more in-depth look at that transfer portal rankings coming soon as well, so make sure you guys are subscribed.